The perpendicular bisector theorems. If MP is the perpendicular bisector of AMB, then AM is congruent to MB and AP is congruent to BP. If M is the midpoint of AB and P is not on AB and AP is congruent to PB, then MP is the perpendicular bisector of AMP. Put the two ideas together and you have the biconditional. The perpendicular bisector characterization, or PBC theorem. A point lies on the perpendicular bisector of a segment if and only if the point is equidistant from the endpoints of the segment. The angle bisector review. Definition. An angle bisector is a ray, line, or segment that divides an angle into two congruent angles. BM is the bisector of angle ABC. Therefore, the definition allows us to conclude that angle ABM here is congruent to angle MBC here. The angle bisector and its theorems. Theorem. If BP bisects angle ABC, then the measure of angle ABP here equals 1/2 the measure of angle ABC, the entire angle there, and the measure of angle ABC equals 2 times the measure of angle ABP, this angle here. Note, we proved this earlier. Another theorem. If P lies on the angle bisector of angle ABC, then PS, this line here, equals PT, this line here. If P is equidistant from the sides of angle ABC, then P lies on the angle bisector of angle ABC. Theorem. If P lies on the angle bisector of angle ABC, then PS equals PT. Given that P lies on the angle bisector of angle ABC, prove that PS equals PT. So we begin with our given information. P lies on the angle bisector of angle ABC. Therefore, angle PBS is congruent to angle PBT, because that is the definition of an angle bisector. Alright, now we have PS is perpendicular to AB, and we see that with this little square here representing the 90-degree angle, and PT is perpendicular to BC, and we also have that right angle right there. We know that these angles are right angles because that's the definition of perpendicular lines. Angle PSB here is congruent to angle PTB here because all right angles are congruent. BP is congruent to BP due to the reflexive property of congruence. Alright, since we've shown that BP is congruent with itself, which is the shared side between these two triangles, angle PSB, this angle here, is congruent with this angle here, and we've also shown that PBS, this angle, is congruent to this angle. We have angle side as the reason why these two triangles are congruent. Alright, and since we know now that these two triangles are congruent, we know that PS is congruent to PT because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Alright, and since they are congruent segments, that means they have equal lengths because that's the definition of congruent segments. Here is the full proof.